Some people have radar detectors in their car. I never really got into that world of tech, largely because it was a gray area. And the last thing I'd want to have happen is getting in trouble for having one of those things. So I never really explored that, you know, preventative medicine, so to speak. I know many of you probably have and would have advice on that, but let's just say something happens and you have to go to court because you did something you shouldn't have been doing or were accused of doing something that you shouldn't have been doing. It happens to all of us, or potentially could happen to all of us, or any of us, really. And GT Peach from the chat room at live.perillo.com submitted a top 5 tips as a follow-up on the one that we did for avoiding traffic tickets the other day. Top 5 once you hit the courtroom with a ticket. Number 1, nolo contendre. Nolo contendere says, or no contest is your friend. This best friend of new people allows for a person to plead nolo one time every few years, varies depending on the state. This plea is a compromise. You pay the fine, but it won't go on your record, and your insurance will never see it, which means no points. And after all, that's what most people don't want. Number 2, defensive driving. Take this class. When you complete it, you can do several things with it. You can send it to your insurance company, and they will usually give you a discount for having taken the class. You can also take it to the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, and they will automatically remove up to 5 points from your license. Number 3, talk to the solicitor or prosecutor before the case is tried. A lot of them work for you, or with you, especially if you don't have a huge record. They've been known to knock recklessness down a bit. Also, a lot of times for speeding, if you are just a few miles per hour over a cutoff, especially those of you who are close to 21 but not quite there, they will trade you community service or defensive driving for a reduced speed, which will allow you to keep your license. It's worth trying to make a deal because the worst that could happen is they say no. Number 4, along similar lines, bargain even when you know there's no deal on reducing speed or dropping tickets. If you have a suspended license, for example, all hope is not lost. Most times, they will give you a provisional license if you ask for it. This allows you to drive to and from work, school, and religious activities. It isn't a full license. It usually has a curfew, and if you're caught going to and from anywhere else but those places, you're totally busted and won't be allowed to drive. But that type of license is better than nothing, especially if you have bills to pay. Another thing that can't be bargained at this stage is the payment. If you don't have the money for the ticket up front, there are ways to spread payments out over several months. Some will put you on a monthly probation until you can pay it, which means a visit once a month, but most will simply schedule a payment plan and charge a surcharge for use of the service. The average surcharge is 10 to 15%, but can vary by state and court. Number 5, know your state laws. For instance, how many years it takes to have something disappear from a record, how many points you can accrue before your license is suspended, how many years you have to wait before being allowed to plea nolo again. Also, no age limitations. If you're under 21, a nolo plea will do you very little good because they are required to report those cases, so you might want to save it for a rainy over 21-year-old day. Another good thing to know is the surcharge on fines. Most courts will charge some surcharges on top of a court fine. These can be a flat rate, usually $50 to $100 in court fees, or a percentage. I've seen anywhere from 50 to 40% on this of the fee itself. Knowing this will help you financially prepare for it. And she notes this, that she used to work for the state court misdemeanor and records court, and recorders courts. So she definitely is speaking with experience, and so likely this is how I dovetail it into talking about technology. Number 1, you probably drive. Number 2, you probably search the internet for help on how you could get not necessarily out of a ticket, because we've already recorded that video, but how you could help yourself inside the courtroom and following up with a moving violation. So GT Peach, I appreciate this submission, this top 5 list. You can email me, chris@perillo.com, and if it's a good top 5 list that is good for the general community, the people who like watching videos online, which is pretty much everybody, I'd love to see what you have to share. And you're also welcome to stop by the chat room. You never really know what's going to happen. We're typically talking tech, but you know the topic waxes and wanes throughout the day. You never really know what's going to happen, but that's what kind of makes it exciting. To have this live stream go out over the internet, because this is a live video feed that I'm recording on with the chat room and the logos and the topic and the date. And yes, it's really late at night or early in the morning, depending on how you look at it. And I don't know if I'm pulling an all-nighter tonight or not at this point. We will see. Anyway, you're welcome to stop by and say hello. And even if I don't say hello back, understand that I am paying attention in a very light way. It's just I'm kind of busy with other things too, because I'm building LockerGnome.com and I'm building GnomePal.org, and GnomeDex.com is coming up. I mean, I do a lot of stuff on the web, including this live video stream. So stop by and say hello. I'm at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.